Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to a very special episode of News Dose. Gamescom 2021 just took place, and a ton of games just got announced here. And if I counted this correctly, 46 games was revealed here at this Gamescom event. So like I said, there was a ton of games here, and this is going to be a very busy episode. Per usual, I'm going to try to cover this as best as I can, and what I decided to do, because there was just so many announcements here, I went ahead and decided to split this up into parts, because there was just so many games at this event. There was no way I was going to be able to talk about every single one of them. So here I did categorize this into parts. So first we're going to talk about the Xbox news, because they did have some big announcements. Then we're going to talk about some big PlayStation news as well, because they had some interesting announcements to make as well. And then we got some AAA multi-platform games. And then we'll move on to some of the bigger surprises of the event. And then last but not least, we'll talk about all of the release dates that was revealed here today. So like I said before, we have a lot to go over here. And let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So we are going to start off today with some Xbox news, as right away they did reveal a brand new Day 1 Xbox Game Pass title. Not really a big surprise, they continuously announce these Xbox Game Pass games, but this one is really interesting because this one is coming from the creators of Guacamelee. Guacamelee is probably one of the best independent games that's released over the last decade, and it looks like their next game is really interesting as well. So as you can see here, this is Nobody Saves the World, and this is a top-down action RPG with quite a bit of humor thrown in. The cool thing about this game is that you can actually mix and match abilities. So, if you want to become an egg robot, yeah, you can do that. Or, hey, if you want to be a horse ranger, a horse that can shoot a bow and arrow, yeah, you can absolutely do that as well. Like I said, there's definitely a goofy charm to this game, but it looks like a ton of fun, and to just kind of add to that fun, it does have a cooperative aspect to it. So this is definitely a game to look forward to that's releasing early in 2022, and again, it's launching directly into Xbox Game Pass. Now, the big Xbox news here, though, was those Halo announcements. Yes, we did get some Halo Infinite reveals here, though unfortunately we did not get a single-player campaign reintroduction. I really thought that they would show that at Gamescom, but 343 Industries did say that they're putting the final touches onto the single-player campaign, so we're going to have to wait a bit longer for that reveal. Hopefully not too long, but they did show off a pretty cool multiplayer trailer, and they did finally give us that release date for Halo Infinite. And yeah, the good news here is that both Halo Infinite single player as well as its multiplayer will in fact launch side by side, and that will be on December 8th. So there you go. There was a lot of people that doubted that Halo Infinite single player and multiplayer was going to launch side by side, but there it is. I myself, as a big Halo fan, I'm definitely looking forward to that, and this is Halo's 20th anniversary, so they did actually have a few bonus announcements as well. Halo will be getting its own limited edition Xbox Series X console, as well as an Xbox Elite Series 2 limited edition controller. Both of these look absolutely excellent, though the big question right now are how hard are they going to be to get? We've already seen how difficult it's been to get an Xbox Series X over the years, so with this being a limited edition console and this being a limited edition controller, I imagine it's going to be pretty difficult getting these, and in fact, they both have already sold out over on the Microsoft Store. Hopefully, Microsoft does make these readily available over the holiday, because these really are looking sharp. It would be really unfortunate if these end up being extremely limited. With that said, though, I know a lot of fans are going to be disappointed about the lack of a single-player reintroduction, but I will go ahead and say that I do think that multiplayer trailer, it looked pretty cool. There definitely seems to be a real story component there, as Halo Infinite's multiplayer is set up in seasons. That's something that we've seen Fortnite do, and now we're going to kind of see that with Halo Infinite, and I definitely like how they're introducing that aspect of the game. Halo Infinite's multiplayer so far is shaping up very well. Let's go ahead and move on over to the PlayStation news, as they did have a few key announcements here, and the first of which is a little bit more on the unfortunate side of things, though I would say that there's some good news as well. Kind of get into that here in just a moment. But yes, those rumors were true after all. Horizon Forbidden West has now officially been delayed into 2022. this isn't some kind of major surprise just because we've already heard about this. It did leak earlier this month and we talked about it on this channel, so not really a big surprise there, but Horizon Forbidden West is now confirmed for a February release. Yeah, go ahead and set your calendars for February 18th. This game so far is looking absolutely gorgeous, as you'd expect coming from Guerrilla Games. They've always been known for their visuals, and a lot of fans really just absolutely loved Horizon Zero Dawn. So I know it's unfortunate that this game got delayed, but I always like to say this, but just be patient because these delays, they happen for a reason. These developers are working through some very difficult times right now with the work conditions that they're under, and it's not going to kill us to wait an extra few months. I'd rather have a good game day one than a rushed, buggy mess. We saw what happened last year with Cyberpunk. We don't want to see that happen with a game on the caliber of Horizon Forbidden West. Now, as I said though, there was actually some good news here for Horizon fans as well, because they did announce a 60 frames per second PlayStation 5 update for Horizon Zero Dawn. So that is yet another game that's getting that 60 frames per second treatment on the PlayStation 5, and I absolutely love this. This is something that I want PlayStation to continue with because there's just so many great PlayStation 4 exclusives. Let's get all of these games. I'm looking at you, Bloodborne. Let's get all of these games a 60 frames per second update. So I'm really happy to see Sony continue on with these PlayStation 4 updates for that PlayStation 5 console. February actually looks to be a pretty busy month for PlayStation next year, though, because they also confirmed a release date for their upcoming PlayStation exclusive Sifu. This is like a brawler style of game with a very interesting art style to it, and it did get a confirmed release date for February 22nd, 2022. We did get some more gameplay of Sifu here, and you know what? This looks like a pretty good brawler. This may not necessarily be a big AAA game, but this is something that fans really criticized PlayStation for earlier this year, that they're focusing too much on big AAA blockbuster games, and while this may not necessarily be a PlayStation first-party game, it's still an interesting looking independent game. So I think fans might want to pay attention to this one because it might surprise some fans when it does release. It looks like it could end up being a really fun game when it does release, and yeah, that February month for PlayStation is definitely looking increasingly busy. Keep in mind though that Sifu will also be available on PC. Now, this being a Gamescom hosted by Jeff Keighley, it really wouldn't be a Jeff Keighley style of event without, of course, Hideo Kojima. Hideo Kojima does typically make his announcements over at these Jeff Keighley events, as, yeah, they're pretty good friends, and Jeff Keighley pretty much lets you know that every chance he gets. That makes these events more interesting, though, in my opinion, because, yeah, I really like Hideo Kojima myself, and he did reveal some more gameplay on that Death Stranding Director's Cut that will be releasing next month on September 24th. Now, when this game first released on the PlayStation 4, it was criticized by some fans because it is a slower-paced game. You can kind of explain it as a walking simulator. A very good walking simulator at that, but yes, it's not necessarily everybody's cup of tea. With this director's cut, though, Hideo Kojima seems to be trying to alleviate some of that criticism when it comes to the slower-paced gameplay for Death Stranding. They did add in some more action-based missions that really seems very similar to the Metal Gear Solid franchise. I mean, you see some gameplay here that looks like it came straight out of the Metal Gear Solid games. And I mean, maybe Hideo Kojima can't work on Metal Gear Solid anymore, but I mean, I guess he can do that here with Death Stranding, and it looks fantastic. As a big Metal Gear Solid fan myself, I loved what I saw here with Death Stranding. I really want to play through these stealth-based missions here and see what that feels like in Death Stranding. Now, Death Stranding Director's Cut is also offering quite a bit more content, and they revealed some new delivery methods here. It once again does seem like he's going to try to alleviate that slow-paced gameplay, and there's going to be some faster ways to deliver your packages. I think a lot of players are really going to like that. There's a firing range, you're going to be able to revisit boss battles, and then there's even a racetrack in Death Stranding Director's Cut. Yeah, Director's Cut is bringing in quite a bit of new content, and some of it's crazy as you'd expect from Hideo Kojima. You got that Metal Gear Solid stealth-based stuff, and yeah, with the new deliveries and everything, I think Director's Cut is looking really good, and it should cut back on some of the complaints that fans had of that original release. I know I'm absolutely going to jump back into this game when it does release next month on September 24th. There was also several big AAA game announcements that they made here at this Gamescom event, some of which was quite surprising, which we'll get into here in just a second. But I think the one that a lot of fans are really going to be excited about is that Call of Duty Vanguard gameplay reveal. Obviously, Call of Duty is a massive franchise and one of the absolute biggest in the entire industry, so a lot of people are really going to be excited about Call of Duty Vanguard. But when they first announced this game, it was really only that cinematic experience that just kind of revealed it was a World War II style of game. A lot of fans weren't exactly happy that this was a World War II game, and even more so that we didn't actually get gameplay. But, well, they fixed that today, and you know, I'm not really as big of a Call of Duty fan as what I used to be. I really liked it a lot when I was younger, and I've kind of been a little away from this franchise for a little while now, but I was really surprised by how good the story campaign for Call of Duty Vanguard actually looked. There was a lot of set pieces here that not only looked like that they were fun to play through, but it was very atmospheric, and it looked great visually as well. And you know what? It kind of reminded me a little bit of Uncharted. I'm not sure why it was giving me those Uncharted vibes, but it does have those climbing sections that you kind of see in the Uncharted franchise, and with those set pieces on top of that, which I know Call of Duty has had set pieces in the past, but I don't know, for some reason it did kind of remind me of Uncharted, which is one of my favorite franchises of all time. But yeah, I really thought Call of Duty Vanguard looked great. In this video here, you're actually playing as a female sniper, and she has a pretty cool backstory as well. Really, I thought that the Call of Duty Vanguard gameplay reveal turned out to be very impressive, and for somebody like me who wasn't really excited for this game at all, I mean, I watched this trailer and yeah, I left excited. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it just yet or not, but definitely a very good gameplay reveal here. Now, a game that we just talked about the other day would be Saints Row. Of course, Jeff Keighley was teasing that Saints Row reboot just a couple days back, and well, they did make it official here. Saints Row will be getting a reboot, and it's actually releasing much sooner than what I was expecting. The Saints Row reboot will be releasing on February 25th, so that's right around the corner. I wasn't really expecting that because I thought that this game was probably still early in development and that we wouldn't really see it until a couple years. But yeah, it's coming out on February 25th of next year. Now, we didn't really get much in the way of gameplay here, but based off the cinematic and the really small bit of gameplay that we did see, it does look like it's going to kind of go back to the roots of Saints Row. And that would be kind of your grounded, inspired GTA-like experience. It's still a very goofy game, and it has a different vibe as you kind of focus on the different gangs across the city. But, you know, it is a fun GTA-like style of game. I'm personally really happy to see them go back to that style of gameplay because, I mean, when I played Saints Row, back in the Xbox 360 days, I really enjoyed that game. I remember having a ton of fun with it, and I really think that it's one of the best GTA-like experiences made to this day. So I'm kind of happy to see them go back to that style of gameplay once again, if that is, in fact, what they're doing. That's what it looks like, at least as of this moment. And for you Saints Row fans out there, I think you can be pretty happy with this Saints Row reboot. Now, one other big AAA game that they did announce here that was really exciting was Midnight Suns. Now, this is the next Marvel game, and this one did actually leak out. I want to say it was right before E3. I want to say it was Jason Schreier that actually leaked this one out, but this is a tactical RPG coming from Firaxis, which is the XCOM studio. And right away, that's going to draw in a lot of attention because, you know, the XCOM studio is insanely talented. XCOM to this day is one of the best tactical RPGs, and the fact that they are working on a Marvel-related IP, yeah, this one definitely has some potential. What's really interesting about this specific Marvel-based game, though, is that you're actually going to be taking the role of a completely new hero. This is something else that did leak out in the past, but it was true because you will be taking on the role as the Hunter, a new Marvel hero created by Firaxis. Now, there's going to be plenty of classic heroes as well, including Iron Man, you have Wolverine, Ghost Rider, Blade, Captain America, and Captain Marvel, but you will be taking the role of a completely new hero. We'll see how that one kind of works out, but we are seeing Disney kind of continue to make their footprint on the game industry. Whether that be with franchises like Star Wars or with the Marvel Universe like Spider-Man, you have the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and now you also have Midnight Suns. So Disney is really taking the game industry serious right now, and I mean, all I'm going to say is, let's go ahead and think about getting a Daredevil game started up. I would absolutely love that, but yeah, I think Midnight Suns definitely looks interesting. We don't have any gameplay just yet, but they are going to be revealing more on September 1st. With that said, though, let's just go and take a look at some of the bigger surprises of the show, and one of these games just looked absolutely outstanding. This one definitely took me by surprise, and that would be DokeV. This is coming from a Korean studio, and just wow. First off, the visuals in this game are absolutely insane. It looks photorealistic. And I mean, we've seen some photorealistic games in the past, such as, of course, you have the Flight Simulator, but this one is completely different, and it looks insanely fun as well. There's just so much happening in this trailer. It does have that monster capturing component to it, like the Pokemon franchise. You can do battles, though you, as the trainer, quote-unquote trainer, you can actually battle alongside your different monsters. You have plenty of ways to travel through the city, whether that be with your skateboard, you can do jet skiing, you can kind of float in the sky, and there's a ton of different ways to travel. So this game, both in terms of its visuals as well as its gameplay, looks insanely interesting. I think this one was easily the biggest surprise of the show, and if it is as good as it looks, this game could be a big hit when it releases. We didn't get a release date, unfortunately, but I'm telling you, people are going to go insane over this game if it's as good as it looks. Now, I did see some people kind of focus on the facial expressions in this game, saying that they were kind of dead looking, but really, this game is still in development, and they could definitely improve that in the future. And really, even then, I think that this game still looks amazing. I will definitely be paying attention to this one from this point forward. Now, the last two games that we're going to talk about just real quick would be King of Fighters 15 and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Now, when it comes to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they did reveal that April O'Neil will be a playable character. I, of course, already thought that this game looked really good in the first place, and they did show some more gameplay. It continues to look really good. This is coming from the same studio that worked on Streets of Rage 4, which was an excellent return for that beat-em-up game. Well, it looks like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is going to have a similar comeback here, as this game just continues to look really good. April O'Neil obviously was a very welcome addition, so I was really happy with that announcement. As for King of Fighters 15, though, this is a fighting game that fans have been excited about for quite a while now, and it looks like King of Fighters 15 is going to be a really, really exciting release for fighting game fans now, because every character from the franchise is set to return for King of Fighters 15. Yeah, that's right, 39 characters will be playable in King of Fighters 15, and on top of that, we're also going to get 3 versus 3 battles. So King of Fighters 15 is sounding really good as well, and we did get a release date. It will be available on February 17th of 2022. Yeah, we've kind of mentioned February quite a bit here, and yeah, it's looking like that's definitely going to be a very busy month for gaming. And for that matter, let's just kind of go down this list and talk about some of the release dates that we did here at this event. Of course, King of Fighters 15 will release on February 17th. You have Bus Simulator releasing sometime in 2021. House of Ashes will be October 22nd. Dolmen 2022. Nobody Saves the World is early 2022. Dream Cycle, which is coming from the Lara Croft creator, is now available on Steam. You have Saints Row available on February 25th. Call of Duty Vanguard is November 5th. Halo Infinite December 8th. Midnight Flight Express is planned for 2022. Demon Slayer is October 15th. Monkey Ball is releasing on October 5th. Splitgate Season 0 is out today. Riders Republic will be out on October 28th. Scorn, which is an Xbox game that people have been looking forward to for a little while now, is set for fall of 2021. Age of Ashes is set for November 18th. LEGO Star Wars Skywalker Saga is spring of 2022. The Outlast Trials, which was interesting being a cooperative style horror game, that's set for 2022. Jurassic World Evolution 2 set for November 9th. Far Cry 6, October 7th. Blood Hunt will be getting early access on Steam September 7th. Park Beyond is 2022. Jet the Far Shore, which is a PlayStation exclusive, is on October 5th. Horizon Forbidden West will be out February 18th. New World, September 28th. Marvel's Future Revolution is out today on mobile for free. Valheim's expansion, Hearth of Home, is out September 16th. Crossfire X is reconfirmed as coming soon. Genshin Impact's Aloy update will be out September 1st. Sifu is February 2nd, and then you have Death Stranding, which will be out on September 24th. So all in all, the rest of 2021 and then 2022 right now is looking absolutely stacked. What I will say about this Gamescom event though, and typically I have criticized Jeff Keighley events in the past, I thought that this might have been his best yet. I thought he did a really good job. It did have some pacing issues there closer to the end, but I really thought that there was just great announcement after great announcement today. Definitely a lot to look forward to, but let me know in the comments below on what your favorite announcement was here at this year's Gamescom. On to our final topic of the day though, and I'll try to make this one quick considering this video is already 20 plus minutes long, but the poll of the day. I did ask you all, what letter grade would you give that Xbox Gamescom event for 2021? And interestingly enough, you all gave this one a C. And that one is a little bit surprising to me considering just how much they talked during this event. I'm not sure I would give this one a C myself, but it does seem like a lot of you all felt that because Microsoft kind of let everybody know ahead of time that this was going to be a smaller event with them just giving updates on already announced games, you thought that there was plenty of announcements that they did have here. And, you know, I do agree that I felt there was definitely some interesting announcements here. I thought they did a good job with Xbox Game Pass, as they typically do. They also had Forza Horizon 5, which looks absolutely stunning and amazing at that. They also had some cool announcements for Flight Simulator as well. I really like that competitive racing mode that they announced for Flight Sim. So I think that they did have some good announcements here, but it's the pacing that was the big problem for me. I really think that Xbox needs to do away with this inside Xbox type of format where they just talk and talk and talk. I mean, I didn't really need to know that much about a trebuchet before getting into Age of Empires 4. I don't really know what that was about. I would probably give this event a D, but I do like your all's optimism here with giving it a C. I'm always going to root for optimism, so, you know, if you all really do believe it's a C, you know what? I'm all for it. At the very least, with all of the Halo Infinite announcements that they made today, that definitely helped out with Xbox and the Gamescom event overall. Anyways, though, that's it for this episode, but if you liked the video, don't forget the bell notification and subscribe button for more content just like this. Also, if you'd like to support the channel through Patreon, thank you for making this content possible. Peace out.